Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 281 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my mother, Sean.
How we doing?
Fantastic. If this is the first time you're seeing, hearing, or listening to us, this is the Two Player Co-op Podcast, where just about every week, two brothers get together to tell you everything you need to know about in the world of video games. If you like that, make sure to like the video, subscribe, share it with your friends, family, and everyone in betwixt. If you only listen on audio services, that's cool too. Just give us a thumbs up, 5-star review, or whatever your service allows. If you really like us, you can go to patreon.com/2playercoop, where for just $1, you become a booster, where you get the podcast one day early. For $5, you become a producer, where you get a bonus episode of the podcast every month. For $10, you become an affiliate, where you can watch us record the podcast live on YouTube as it happens. Or for $20, if you're crazy enough, you become a partner, where you can choose a bonus episode topic and record it with us.
So,
some people that make up those tiers above, I still don't have a good transition, are affiliates.
We'll
James
figure it out.
Solar, Sarah Solar, John Tingley, and Derek Bamford. You can also, our producers are Steve Appleton, Aunt Sue, Vernon Slayton, and Dustin Downs. Again, not drinking, still can't talk. If you like cool t-shirts and the like, you can go to teespring.com/stores/2player-co-op. Sean,
yes.
you saw a little movie this weekend.
A little movie.
Spoiler-free thoughts on
Pretty
Doctor
much
Strange.
spoiler
we didn't,
free.
and I didn't get to see Sonic 2 yet. It was just a busy
Oh, I
weekend.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I saw Doctor Strange. I enjoyed it. It was good. I get why they said it could have or should have been rated R. I get how some people were saying it's almost a horror movie.
Well, it's Sam Raimi. What do you expect?
That movie reeked of Sam Raimi. So there's like the very opening of the movie action sequence. Okay. Then 5 minutes later, there's like another action sequence. That action sequence, there's a giant monster that they're fighting, whatever. Not the very, very first one, but the one in like, New York City that just had, not in a bad way, but just had Raimi
Derek, thank you.
fingerprints all over it. Just like it felt like you were watching like old school Spider-Man, just like the cuts and like the zooms and like
the
it
Doc
just,
Ock scene.
Yeah, it just felt very, not in a bad way, but very just campy, cheesy. I don't know. Like I liked it. Nothing wrong with
Well,
it.
that's
but
good.
Just, I don't know, for an MCU movie, it seemed kind of out of place, but whatever. Wanda, I understand. Last week I was saying,
Right.
I haven't really seen any spoilers. All I know is everybody saying, well, there's no more doubt that Wanda's the strongest Avenger or whatever, so I knew she was just kind of crazy in this movie. She's awesome. Some interesting cameos, I guess talking. I will call it.
I'm gonna turn the fan down. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but it's squeaking and it's driving me nuts. I need to get a new fan in here. Continue, Sean.
Some cool cameos. There was a lot of like, if you haven't been spoiled, it's
the Leo meme, you mean?
Exactly, yeah. So I kind of feel about it the way I felt about Eternals. In that, oh God, I enjoyed the movie. It was entertaining. I just don't know that I care. Like, I'm glad they're doing
endorsement.
The multiverse thing now because it opens up a lot of possibilities. I like that. But other than that, we kind of were already there between WandaVision and obviously Spider-Man.
And What If also, right?
And that, I guess, yeah. The multiverse has already been introduced. This kind of like really cemented it. But I just don't know that I care. Like, there's a post-credit scene that I'm like, I had to look up who it was. Even now that I know who it was, I'm like, I don't care.
Is it anyone I would know?
No.
Okay.
It's
That's why this
related
whole phase...
to the first Doctor Strange.
Oh, then I...
But yeah, like, I want Spider-Man. I want X-Men. I'm sorry, I don't care about Final Four. Fantastic Four. Like, when they finally do it, because it's MCU, I'll probably see it. I just never really cared about them too much, but whatever. But
I forget, have you seen
X-Men. Bring the X-Men in, and I'm in. But like,
have you seen every MCU movie? I can't remember. I think you have. Or you didn't see Shang-Chi.
I haven't seen... That's true. I haven't seen Shang-Chi, and I haven't technically seen Thor 2 all the way through, or Incredible Hulk all the way through.
Okay.
But I've seen all the other ones. I feel like maybe I'm missing... No, Shang-Chi was the only movie that I didn't see. I haven't seen... I watched some of Moon Knight. I didn't really care.
People seem like they either love that or say, what was the point of this?
Yeah, I'm kind of...
I love Oscar Isaacs, but I just don't care. But be Snake, for crying out loud. Let's get that going.
So, yeah, I just don't care. Like, I want Spider-Man and X-Men. Other than that, I don't really care. Like, I love Sam, but I will always miss Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
I will always miss
Stark.
Tony. I will always... We're about to lose Thor as we know it. We're going to lose, I assume, Hulk. We'll get She-Hulk. We're going to lose Thor. We're going to get She-Thor. We've lost Iron Man. We're going to get Iron Heart. We've lost Black Widow. Now we have just another Black Widow. We're basically losing Hawkeye. Now we have female Hawkeye. And I get it. I know it's all comic accurate.
Have we lost Hawkeye?
I mean, no, but I think that's... You can tell where they're going.
Okay.
I didn't watch it.
He didn't die or anything?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But like, I don't know. I will continue to see these Marvel movies for the most part, but I just don't know that I really care. There's no like big... During the Infinity Saga, I wanted to see every movie because I wanted to see where are they going with this? What's going to happen next? Blah, 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 blah. Now I'm just like, I don't... If there is an overarching story, which I guess is just the multiverse right now, I don't know that I really care. Like, Thanos was kind of there in the background throughout all of the Infinity Saga. I don't know what the equivalent of that is now. I guess it's just the multiverse. Maybe eventually they'll bring in... I've heard, like, Galactus is going to be the big bad, or they're going to kind of have two factions where you've got, like, Doctor Strange and Wanda and Captain Marvel and these kind of people doing like the weird space other dimension kind of stuff, and then you've got like Sam and Spider-Man and those kind of people that are doing more of like the Earth, smaller picture things. I don't know.
Weren't a lot of people hoping they were going to do is it Secret Wars? Is that like Invasion? X-Men versus Secret Invasion, X-Men versus the Avengers or something?
I think it's got some tie to the X-Men, but I think that's all about like the I don't even remember their name, the Skrulls and these like two alien races, whatever factions. Yeah, they were big in Captain Marvel, but they've shown up elsewhere. And it's like they impersonate people. Like there was a post-credit scene of some movie. I don't even remember which one. Maybe it was No Way, or the other one, Far From Home. I think it was Far From Home, where like Nick Fury is not even Nick Fury.
Right, he's a Skrull.
He's been a Skrull, not the whole time, but like
Nick
how
Fury's
long? Like out on a beach somewhere or something, and this is like I don't know, but like, and don't murder me. I don't follow the comics at all. All I know is what I've seen in the movies, and I've forgotten a good portion of that. But
Derek, why'd you retract your message? I agree with you.
But yeah, I don't know. It was fine. It was entertaining. I can't wait for Thor, even though I know where it's going. I don't really care for it, but like the movie looks awesome.
Well, but see, here's what, and I agree that to me it almost seems like the MCU has been spinning its wheels ever since Endgame 3 years ago, which makes sense. But like, I almost feel like, why not just say that's that? That is the perfect ending to those 22
Well, I kind of
movies.
feel like that's what they're doing. So far, not a whole lot has been connected.
But you've still got Spider-Man. You've still got Thor with a movie coming out. You've still got Strange. Like,
Right,
why
but
not
that's what I'm
just
saying.
end
I
it
think-
and just say, now we're going to start fresh with the X-Men, with everybody else, blah, blah, blah.
Well, I think the movies from now on, maybe they are just going to be a little bit like loose ties to the other franchises, but not like force them into this one big overarching storyline. I think it's just, here's these characters. We all know they're in the same universe. Occasionally one might pop up in somebody else's movie, but there's not this big convergence that is going to happen at some point. I just think we're past that, and it's just like before it was obvious when you moved from phase 1 to phase 2 to phase 3. We're in phase 4. I don't know when phase 4 ends. I don't know. I mean, phase 1 ended with Avengers. Phase 2 ended with Ultron. Phase 3 ended with Endgame. I think phase 4, they're eventually going to be like, we'll draw the line here. And now we're in phase 5. And what does that even mean?
Right.
I don't know.
Derek says, Doctor Strange, Guardians 3, then maybe Thor, but then I'm out. That's kind of how I, like, and it is weird to me that...
And, I mean, whatever
Spider-Man
more
continues to be.
Spider-Man, yeah.
But, like, I want the X-Men. But also, like, it's weird that Thor is coming out. It's almost like Thor Love and Thunder is kind of going to also be a Guardians movie, right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't even watch the teaser. I just saw a couple, like, screenshots and stuff. I think I'm just going to go dark on that, like you did for Star Wars. That didn't work out so well with The Last Jedi. But I think I just want to go dark. I went
full dork.
I went dork a long time ago. John Tingley is in the chat. But I just want to go dark and just see it. Like, after I missed the boat on Ragnarok and didn't watch it for whatever it was, 2 or 3 years, if not more, James will always remind me of that. I'm not missing this. Like, that's an opening. I don't know that it's a Thursday night for me, but it's definitely an opening weekend for me, for sure.
I'm down to go Thursday.
Well, then maybe we do a movie review for it. Because
I hope we see it, and I hope we are inspired to do a review.
yeah.
But again, I just don't know.
But it's Taika Waititi again, right? He's directing it again.
I think so, yeah.
So, I mean,
I'm sure it's going to be really good. But again,
I need to watch
we all
Ragnarok
kind of know what
again.
this is doing for the bigger story. And I don't think I care.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't care. I care about Thor, which I never thought I would have said before. I don't really care about Jane. Well, like, we know where it's going. It's just, how do we get there? Like, we know what happens in Breaking Bad, and that's what's so a lot of stuff's already determined, but it's how do we get there in Better Call Saul that's so much fun to watch. And these next 2 episodes are going to be insane, especially because I think they're going to treat this next one like a penultimate episode because it's ending the first run.
Are you sure
of the
there's
first season? It's
Okay.
7 and 6.
But 6 is coming up.
Right.
Okay, but after 5, it said
One
more
episode until the finale.
Oh, is that what it said?
Yeah.
One more
episode until the mid-season finale is what they said.
Okay. Then yeah, I'm expecting. I think this is gonna be crazy.
It's going to be crazy. And Nick's got a game at 7, of course, so I won't be able to watch it until like 8:30. So don't text me. I'm probably just going to turn my phone off because I can't trust Rasan. But MCU, yeah, like, I love Spider-Man. Everybody I cared about is gone outside of him. And Thor's about to be gone. So I don't know. Like, I don't need to see Doctor Strange. Like I said, as soon as the spoilers were out and stuff was on YouTube leaked, I watched all that and I was like, okay, I feel like I've seen the movie. I'm good. I didn't see the first Doctor Strange. I don't care about it. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Rasan said the other day that he thought that Multiverse of Madness was supposed to come out originally before No Way Home. Does that make any sense watching the movie? Do they reference what happened? Well, they can't because nobody remembers him.
No, but they do.
Spoiler alert, sorry. Everybody has seen No Way Home.
I'm trying to think of what it was, but they definitely made some kind of mention, maybe just to the spell. Oh, because, but who would Strange? I was going to say Strange remembers, or I don't know, maybe
No,
he doesn't.
he doesn't.
Even. They definitely make some kind of passing reference to it. I don't know if they ever said.
I think Rasan was just talking out of his butt, but
Yeah.
nobody's asking for a female Hawkeye, Black Panther, Iron Man, and Thor. What the hell? Did they finish filming Black Panther? I think I still don't know how they're doing that. I'm
sure they just write him out. Well, originally
you can't just write him out.
They were talking about Shuri becoming like the new Black Panther.
Oh, I'm sure she will. I think that's what Derek said.
Well, but I don't think that's happening. I think she said something or did something that Disney did not like. So I think I don't know if she's just, I don't know what the ramifications of that are. What I would want to see, even though, again, I can't bring myself to care, M'Baku should be new Black Panther. Like that dude.
He was the
awesome.
big dude.
The big.
Yeah.
Yeah. That dude, if somebody knew was going to be Black Panther, I mean, it should be him.
That is one big Black Panther suit. Like that
that's
would
a
be
big dude.
That dude in the suit would look hilarious.
Yeah.
So I mean, but what would you say, Doctor Strange? Is it like middle of the pack or?
It was definitely entertaining. I mean, it's just there's a lot of cool.
I have not seen No Way Home, and yes, Doctor was changed because of Spider-Man. Interesting. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, what I said it's not a big spoiler or anything, but you have to see it.
It was good. Like it was better than the first one. And the first one was just, again, entertaining. It was just like
I can't believe
trippy
I'm seeing
just
this.
to like how did they even make this? This has kind of a lot of that in it too, but I think the story was better. It's honestly, I don't think this is a spoiler alert. It's more of a Wanda movie than Doctor Strange, honestly. But yeah, I don't know. It was good. Like it was an 8 out of 10 probably. It's better than a lot of MCU.
You're talking about it like it's like a 6.5 or something.
No, I liked the movie. I just don't think I care
Yeah.
big picture wise.
Where it goes.
But I like it better. It's easily in the top half of the movies.
Oh, the burps taste funny after that sandwich. Did you watch the Avatar trailer?
I did, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't remember. I remember nothing.
No one
from
does.
the first one.
There was
Like,
mechs. There was a mech fight.
They're trying to get unobtainium, and yeah, there's like,
Oh my god, I
there's
forgot that's what it
mechs,
was called.
And like the people, there's like the humans,
They sit in a bed and then
they
get
become
transported
into like the body of whatever I don't even know what are those things called?
the Navi. Is that right?
That sound. Hey, listen. Is it Navi?
They're coming for your
It's something
unobtainium.
like that.
I think it's the Navi.
But yeah, I'm just like, if I'm expected, like, I kind of want to see it. I don't know that I'll see it in theaters, but like, I'll watch it just because it's a big deal, so it can't be terrible.
Thing, all I remember is when
But yeah, if I'm supposed to remember anything from the first one, forget about it.
I walked out of it saying, because I saw it with Dad. Obviously, this was before you lived here. This was 2009. It was forever ago. We walked out of it, and I was like, and we saw it in 3D, and even Dad was like, I don't know how they made that movie. I was like, I don't know how they made that movie either. That was awesome. And then time went by, and I was like, wait,
Was that even good?
the movie wasn't? The movie was just. It's like, to me, it is like from what I remember, a 5 or a 6 out of 10. It's just
And honestly,
the
now
tech was insane.
it doesn't really look like. I feel like a lot of the characters, the Navi, whatever they're called, kind of look. I don't know, like 13 years ago, that was very good technology.
They should have made this an Unreal 5.
Now, yeah, like now it's just like they just kind of look cheesy. I don't know. I mean, they're not supposed to look. They're not humans, but like they don't. I don't know. It's just that was the big selling point, I think, of the first one, and just
It was
the fact
all
that
the
it was
tech.
James Cameron.
Yeah. And James
Now it's
Cameron's
like-
awesome, but like,
Now it's just I don't think I care. Like I'll probably see it, maybe in theaters, but probably not.
I will say it was like the most watched trailer ever. It was, well,
Yeah.
I don't know about ever, but it beat like every Star Wars trailer.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't know. And apparently they're still doing the 3D thing with this. I'm like, are there 3D theaters anywhere? I don't think we have one in Collierville. Like, I can't remember the last time a 3D movie came out.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I will. Let me just go out on a limb here and say it will not make as much as the first one.
No.
It will not be the highest grossing movie of all time. It pisses me off that they re-released it and then it went past Endgame.
I feel like they need to re-release Endgame. Like,
But again, if you count inflation, then it's above Endgame.
Well.
Period. But
yeah.
maybe they will for the 5-year anniversary. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
maybe
Summer
like
Game
10.
Fest is not. They did update the where you can see it in IMAX, not Memphis. So,
Oh, dang.
but
Oh,
I don't
well.
care. The Avatar trailer looked like crap.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just like, I don't care. Like,
It's just tech. But now look at seriously, look at Unreal Engine 5. Look at that video that came out like this past week of the train station or whatever, and it looks like real life, and then all of a sudden they're like, okay, let's change the lighting to nighttime. And it's like, what the hell? How is this real?
yeah.
But
it's
again,
unreal.
graphics, thank you. Graphics don't a good game make.
Correct.
So, I mean, it's cool and everything, but like, I wonder how much of that is really going to be possible on PS5 or Series X.
Yeah.
You know, or if that's just a high-end PC thing or a PS5 Pro and an Xbox Series X. What was the last one called? Just the One X? No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and then the S was that's how we got into this stupid naming convention. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I do also just have to say 1/3 of ticket sales were because of the 3D, no doubt, for sure. I just want to have a little note here for Chris Peralta. I see you in the comments. I see you talking about me platinuming The Last of Us and how many likes can you get. I will say you've got some likes on that comment. My thing is, I've actually talked about going back and doing that just because, first off, skip all the cutscenes, and we still need to get Chris on here. I don't know if I have the energy to argue about The Last of Us 2. I was just on one that day, but we'll see, man. But I've heard that like all the accessibility options and difficult, like all the stuff you can do to like, there's like a spotlight on every item and stuff, so like you can't miss it.
Oh, really?
Like you can go through a run, and I don't think there's difficulty trophies on The Last of Us 2. So I've said in the past, like at some point I probably will play that game again. And I won't be shocked if I get the platinum because I will just play it on the easiest difficulty with all the accessibility options turned on and everything. So Chris, I may one day go back and get that platinum, but we shall see. Speaking of platinum, Sean, what have you played this week? Did you get there yet?
No.
Everybody's going to be so bored like, oh my God, they're talking Dark Souls and Elden Ring again.
So I finished kind of like the Proof of Concord kept.
Don't ever say that again.
I got my 30...
What?
Well,
Why'd you do
I'm
this?
trying to, well, because get ready for another name. I got the thing that I've been working on. I needed to get 30.
Are you crying because
Wolf.
this platinum is so tough? It looks like your eyes are watering.
No, I'm just very, very tired. I got my 30, I think it's called Wolf Blood Swordgrass, I think. I got my 30. Similar to the Proof of Concord kept, I needed 9 more of those. And I got 10 over the course of like an hour and a half after getting 21 over probably 5 or 6 hours or something. So I got to where I only needed 1 more, and I went through and killed them all, Mick. And I just couldn't get it. And then eventually I killed them all, and I got 2 on one, like 2 of the 3 enemies gave me 1. Which I've never had happen with any of them. I would never get more than 1 on like an entire run.
On one run,
But
yeah.
of course now, when I only needed 1, I got 2, whatever. I thought I only had 1 more thing to go that I needed 30 of. There are 2 more. So that was already kind of a morale just pooper. This next one that I'm doing, it's just not...
A morale pooper.
Do you remember? You haven't played Dark Souls. It's these 2 enemies that, like, I'm sure if I played it enough, I would get a hang of, like, how to kill them consistently and quickly. But right now, I'm not doing it very well. And they keep killing me, and I haven't even gotten a single one. Now, this one, at least, it sounds like it's pretty simple. If you can get somebody, and I'm close to just posting on Reddit. Although, if anybody out there has Dark Souls 3 and wants to help a brother out, let me know.
I wonder if Dustin might be able to help.
But you can like get somebody to just summon. Do you summon? I think they summon you to be like, come at me, bro. But you do like a password system, but it's still 1v1. It's not co-op. You summon them, or he would summon me. I would kill him. No harm, no foul. He just goes and picks up his souls again.
Right, because they're right there.
Summons me again. I kill him again. rinse and repeat. Every time I kill them, I get one of those things. Do that till I get 30. This one sounds like it's an easy enough one to cheese if I can get somebody to help me. And then the last one, who knows what that's going to be like. There's still like 3 other things I need to get, but those are all, I only need to get to 10, not 30. So I'm not even worried about that.
I could have sworn when you started talking about this weeks ago that there was just one 30 thing you needed to get, and the rest were 10. But apparently there's like 7 30s.
There's 4 30s, although I was thinking there's only 3. There's 4 of them that I need to get 30 of. And then I think 3.
That is one of my favorite quotes ever, Derek. Thank you.
But yeah. So yeah, no platinum yet.
And nothing
I only
else.
played like 2 hours since last week.
Yeah. By the way, my throat's starting to get sore again right here.
Uh-oh.
You got to be kidding me. Like, are you kidding me? I've been sick for like 3 weeks now, and it's going to start the cycle over. Are you kidding me? I'm still playing Elden Ring. I will say, so I downloaded, because I do have an Xbox and it's on Game Pass, and I want to try it, but I feel like anytime I can play right now, I'm just working on the Elden Ring Platinum so I can do it and put it to bed. I did download Trek to Yomi. I had high hopes for that, but the review, it's like a low 70s, I think, on Metacritic. So I'm like, a lot of people say it's like, it's beautiful, but the game doesn't really measure up to the visuals. So we'll see what I think about that. And I can't believe I didn't mention this last week. I bought Red Dead Redemption 2. And the reason I bought it after I've crapped on this game for 4 years now is Sacred Symbols 200. It was their number 1 game on the PS4. Death Stranding was number 2, by the way. Made me very happy. Oh, I'm not playing Final Fantasy X. Forget what I said. That ain't happening. I'm like,
well, that's why I picked that game. Like, I got to pick something that I know he won't want to do.
Yeah.
I thought about saying Hollow Knight, which I do still think you can play, but I'm like, that one he might actually take me up on. I want to say something that he won't follow through on. But not for me to return the favor at all, but you should play Hollow Knight. It's just
no, I know.
Because.
I know.
But yeah.
Well, maybe. I don't even have. Oh, by the way, I don't even mention the Nindy show in this at all because there was no Silk Song. Yeah. And I thought for sure we were going to get a Shredder's Revenge release date, and we did not. What the hell was I talking about? Oh, Sacred Symbol 200. They voted Last of Us Part 2. Nope. No, damn it. Red Dead Redemption 2 as the number 1 game on PS4. Y'all in the chat, if you played it, let me know. But all 3 of them said, and this is what finally got me, and I've heard this before. Oh, there you go. Derek, one of my all-time favorites. The thing that's kept me from playing this game in the past is, and it might have been overblown, I don't know, but all the like the super realistic stuff of if you fall in mud, you got to clean your gun before you can shoot it or it'll jam.
So that kind of stuff, and then I think it was also, I don't know if it's only early game or if it's a thing throughout the game, but it sounds like you just spend so much time walking from like one end of the map to the other. And I don't know if that's like pre-horse or even if you have a horse, it's still god-awful.
Well, because a horse can only go like 20 miles an hour.
Maybe that was also just overblown. I don't know.
Right. But Derek, let me know if it was overblown. But what they said is it's the best. I think all 3 of them might have agreed that it is at least one of the best stories ever told in a video game. And even though I've crapped on this for so long without having played it for a second, I've never played Red Dead 1. Just hearing them gush about the story, I was like, man, I feel like, because I was texting Sean, I was like, I think I'm going to take the leap. And he's like, yeah, right, you're not going to do it. I'm like, yeah, well, let me see. PSN, it's $60 still. Psh, okay, never mind, whatever. And then last week, Wario tweets, Red Dead Redemption 2 on PS4 is on sale with PS Plus for like $24.79. I was like, damn it. So I bought it. I have not even downloaded it yet, but I have it there. I do want to play it. It's Rockstar for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Oh, and John couldn't get into it. So I just wonder what I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it the go, but I want to get the Platinum in Elden Ring, which I'm going to talk about in a second. The Platinum in Horizon. I'm not really looking forward to going back to doing that.
You're going to be so...
It's going to be like, I've never played it before.
Yeah.
And I want to play Trek to Yomi. Okay. All that being said, you can fast travel. I don't think I've only cleaned my gun like once or twice. Okay, so it was overblown. And if you can fast travel, that's good, because that's what I was going to ask. Or I might have asked and I forgot that I did ask. I don't know. But that's good to know.
Okay.
So I'm working on the Elden Ring New Game Plus. No, that's just what I wrote down here. I'm working on the Elden Ring Platinum. Since we podcasted last time, I got all of the, what are they called, Sean? Like the Legendary Ashen Remains or something like that. Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
I beat Lord of Blood Moog.
Lord of Blood.
Story is effing amazing. Yeah, I'm going to play this game. Well, I mean, I bought it. Now I'm pot committed.
Oh, my God.
They're up by 30. The Suns have scored 27 points at the half.
Wow. Luka's got 27 at half.
That just means that Golden State's going to get to the finals. Damn it. Dallas isn't beating them. I love Luka. He has no one helping him.
The Suns have nobody with more than 5 points.
So I beat Lord of Blood Moog, which, do you remember fighting the other Moog, which I haven't done, the one in the sewers?
Yeah, he's not bad.
Lord of Blood Moog was
He's tough.
One of the hardest bosses in the game.
He's the one I cheesed, where you can like jump up on this, jump up on that, and like just jump into his arena without going through the fog gate. And then it makes him, he just never wakes up.
Well, I wish I would have known that. But I mean, I probably died like 7-8 times. And then
I died probably 10 times, and I'm like, I'm getting sick of this. Yeah. And then once I saw there was cheese, I'm like, nah, I'm just.
I didn't even look it up because I assumed with him there was no way to do it. But I forgot you had said that, and I didn't know who you said it in reference to. Yeah. Do I have a sunburn? I've been doing a lot of pool stuff.
You look a little pink. Poor little pink.
Takes about 2 hours or so to get to the first town, but after that, the world opens. That's 2 hours is fine, as long as it's not like 4 hours.
I mean, if you played
4 hours of goat
Death
herding,
Stranding,
yeah,
2 hours
funny.
is nothing for you.
I love walking.
I love walking.
But I beat him. So finally, when I beat him, because it just me and Mimic Tier weren't getting it done. Because do you remember one of the attacks this dude has? When you get him down his second form, he does this thing where he goes, Kneel!
Yeah.
And he puts rings around
and it heals him.
He hits you,
I think.
And he goes like, Kneel! And I'm level 60 now on health, or 59, I forget. And it was taking away probably 40% of my life. And the attacks, he doesn't attack you. He just goes like, he calls a spell.
And it's like,
and it was like, boom. And if you don't heal at the perfect time, you're going to get hit again. And then because you got hit again,
I think
you don't have time to heal before the third one.
Yeah, and then
he takes flight and starts flying around. I was like, oh my God. So I summoned 2 people twice. James is here. I love Red Dead 1, but having to take baths and eating and sleeping was too much for me. Yeah, James, I was talking about how I did buy Red Dead Redemption 2, but I haven't started it yet. It'll probably be a summer game for me. But then again, I'm probably going to have 2 other Turtles games. Well, 14 Turtles games, actually, to play this summer. Anyways, I finally beat him because I summoned 2 people, and they were like wrecking shop. They were doing some spell. I always see these things. I'm like, I don't know what these people are doing. They're like throwing like clouds at him and stuff. And then it like... sometime they staggered him and he dropped, and it was just crazy, and they did most of the work. But I was like, at this point I don't care, so all I've got left is I have to get 7 of the 8 incantations and sorceries, and then I've just got to beat Moog in the sewers, and then there's 2 dragons I have to beat, and then I have to do the 2 endings, which I can save scum it. I got to make sure I do that right. I got to be very careful. All I know is when I beat Moog, I find the door.
I was very nervous, but like, you can't really screw it up.
But I've never done anything on the PS5, at least. On the PS4, I think I did.
It's the same. You turn off automatic sync or whatever.
Okay.
And then you basically say, take my save file, my Elden Ring save file, put it on the cloud.
Okay.
Go do what you got to do. Get whatever ending.
Oh, I don't have to use a USB drive or anything?
No, you just do it all through.
Oh, okay.
Get your ending, download it. It'll be like, are you sure you want to overwrite this save with this save? Yes, I do. Go back in, do the other ending.
Beat the boss again, do that thing, and then I'm there. Open the red door or whatever. Okay. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm going to get there. Link when you first start it, and I'll start it too. Oh, LMK. Sorry, let me know. The screen's far away.
It does look like Link.
And my heart. I was like Link. I thought because I was going to talk about. Well, I talked about Twilight Princess and the goat herding. But yes, I'll let you know, James. I am looking forward to it now after hearing. And James will know. I don't know if you other guys. Well, yeah, you listen to Sacred. Anyway, Sacred 200, James, was what made me want to go and finally take the plunge. And then it went on sale on PSN for like $25. I don't think I did anything else other than beating that boss. And well, I had to beat.
So have you
5
played at all
mini-bosses.
since we talked on Pizza Night?
No, because once the boys are here, they want to watch basket. They're so into basketball now. Not even just the Grizzlies. and we were up till 11:30 or whatever Friday night watching the stupid Grizzlies game. Saturday was a lot of perfecting the pool. Jess was out doing stuff, and then at night, Casey had a sleepover at the gymnastics place. They do like a lock-in thing. Him and all his buddies went. They had a blast. And then Noah spent the night at somebody's house, and then Jess and I went to get dinner. Have you ever been to Ronnie Grisanti's on Poplar? Near at the Oak Hall?
Oh, I'm thinking of David Grisanti's.
Okay, yeah, there's multiple Grisanti's.
Oh, okay. No,
this is on Poplar, kind of around where like across the street from Seasons 52, kind of.
Okay, no,
like
I've never
kitty
been
corner.
there.
It was good, but we went there for dinner like 8:45 at night. So by the time we got back, I was just. And then today it's Sunday and it was beautiful out, and I was just like, yeah, let's just do the pool thing. Pool's beautiful. It's beautiful. So I don't know. So we did decide that I must have beaten the bosses in Leyendell the second time.
If you've
Otherwise,
been
I
to the
couldn't get to the
mountaintop,
mountaintops. Yeah.
Then yes, you've done it.
So then I got to get these stupid incantations. I got to kill the blue glowing turtle things. I feel like if I just sit down for like 2 or 3 hours, I could probably get those 7, I would assume. Or not even that long? Okay.
Hour, maybe 2, I think.
The cat's back out front.
It depends on, because most of them are just go here and get it. Go here, there's a chest, open it. It depends on how much how closely you can just fast travel to.
Where I've got,
if it's an
sites of
area
grace
that you
and
just
stuff,
haven't been to in New Game
then
Plus,
it's gonna.
and
Then I got to look up YouTube video. How do I get to
Yeah.
this place from this site of grace? Yeah.
right.
And then it's just beating those 2 dragons. One is in Crumbling Farum Azula. The other one I have to do after I burn. Well, I don't want to say that. After I do the thing with the thing, that's after I beat the fire giant. You do the thing with the tree, right? That's what makes the city change. Okay.
Yeah. So as long as you get to the save point by the big red door before you do that, then you're fine.
Okay.
Because you can't get into the sewer anymore once you do that.
You definitely can.
Well, you can fast travel there.
No, I went in there when I was trying to find where I was supposed to go once all that happens. Remember, I got into the sewers, and then that's when those big boom, boom, boom guys were there, and they just killed me. But you might not be able to fight the boss down there. It might be something like that.
Maybe.
But I do think something does change. But I'm not looking forward to going through the sewers. That's going to suck.
I don't think it's really that bad.
I got to look up the video, like you said, of
Yeah.
how to get there as quick as possible.
I would look up the video so you know which way to go, but don't just try to run through it like I did. Just look at what they do so you know which way to go, and then just make your way. Don't just try to run it. It'll make it just more difficult, I think.
This has to be the biggest in terms of space. I'm not saying the biggest, most popular, whatever. The biggest open world game of all time.
Yeah.
The fact that there's a world under the world is just insane. Can you find map pieces down there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't think I found
But there's
any.
only like 3, maybe 4 areas. It's not like it's as big as the overworld.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So that's all I've been playing. Oh, James, I did also say earlier that I did download Trek to Yomi on Game Pass, but I haven't played it yet. I would like to play it, but I got to get this. I got to get this platinum. I got to just take time this week. Get this. My goal is to get the platinum this week. I'm going to try really hard. I don't know why I said it like
Try really hard.
really, really hard. But then I want to play Trek to Yomi and then go back to Horizon for that platinum, and then maybe that's when I play Red Dead after that. It just depends on when Turtles comes out. Because right now there's nothing. Although watching Nick play MLB The Show 22 on Game Pass, I'm like, man, I haven't played the last baseball game I owned. Again, can't talk. Was MLB 14. So it's been 9 years since I've really played a baseball game. And now that the Yankees are in first place in the league, it's like when the Giants are good or they draft somebody, I'm like, now I want Madden, and now I want to play baseball. So, all right, Sean. Do you want to get to the news of the week?
Let's do it.
Well, this is a big piece of news. I don't know that it needed its own item, but
It was
a slow week as it is. And by the way, I think I've changed my mind. I forgot about Yomi. Yeah, there you go, James. I changed after I said last week, maybe we just do podcasts every other week. I think there's enough news, and especially if we can just get through this next month.
Then
It's going to be the rest of the year is going to be great. Start thinking about your predictions because we got to do that before I think at this point we just call it Summer Game Fest predictions instead of calling it non-E3 predictions, hopes, and dreams.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, Starfield and Redfall. I forgot Redfall was even a thing. When they announced that too, I was like, I forgot that.
Is that the one with like the vampires or something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know if it's Vampire Battle. I don't remember what it is, but this comes from VGC. Bethesda has officially delayed the release of both Starfield and Redfall from this year to 2023. In a statement published last Thursday, the Xbox-owned publisher said it needed more time to develop the games. Quote, "We've made the decision to delay the launches of Redfall and Starfield to the first half of 2023. The teams at Arcane Austin, Redfall, and Bethesda Game Studios, Starfield, have incredible ambitions for their games, and we want to ensure that you receive the best, most polished versions of them. We want to thank everyone for their excitement for Redfall and Starfield. That energy is a huge part of what inspires all of us every day and drives our own excitement for what we are creating. We can't wait to share our first deep dive into the gameplay for both Redfall and Starfield soon. Both games are likely to feature during Microsoft's E3-style Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase event on June 12th. Blah, 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 blah. Background on the games. Remember a couple of years ago when y'all stopped weekly episodes and made like one podcast a month? I effing remember.
Okay, James not a big fan of that.
James. So that was in 2018. We were really burned out on podcasting, but we weren't burned out on YouTube. We wanted to try something.
Yeah, we were still keeping the content up. Just yeah.
Our framing is driving me nuts. You're too far away. When I look at the screen now, it's killing me. Damn you, Sean. I effing remember you being in the wrong spot. But yeah, James, we probably did 7 or 8 podcasts. And towards the end of the year, we started doing them more regularly. But yeah, I didn't want to just, we thought we wanted to just do the YouTube thing. But then we're like, we miss podcasting. So here we are. Okay. I will say good on them for delaying the game. Because a delayed game is whatever
good eventually.
Said. But not necessarily.
No.
Especially like, so Bethesda has a lot. I don't think anything is riding on Redfall. That could just be me talking.
Starfield is like, if Starfield sucks, that's, I'm not saying it's going to just like cripple the Xbox, but like that makes that whole acquisition just a big fart noise at that point.
Or a stomach noise. It sucks for me because I picked it number 3 in the friggin' fantasy draft. I figured that since they'd been working on this game for like 15 years, that it has to come out. And by the way, the date they had for it is one of my favorite dates of all time. 11/11/22. Are you kidding me? 11 plus 11 is 22. Sorry, I hit the microphone. I think it's loud with these mics when I do that. Sorry. It sucks. I'm glad they delayed it because they did it. But now, so Schreier had some information to share that wasn't in that article. He said that last spring, some of the devs on the team were worried about that date that was announced. And the phrase they kept talking about was that it could be the quote unquote next Cyberpunk, which you don't want to have that. The last game they put out was Fallout 76. That game was a trash fire.
Wow.
Fallout 4, no matter what praise it got, I don't care about Fallout games, but just seeing that game run and seeing the glitches and seeing how crappy it run and that engine and the VATs and all this stuff, like they're not on a good streak right now. They need this to hit, and then Elder Scrolls 6 needs to hit in 2030 when it finally comes out. Like this game has to be amazing. But what's crazy is now Xbox has no first-party games announced for the remainder of this year. I don't know that they have any third-party exclusives. I could be wrong there, but I don't think they have any third-party exclusives for the remainder of the year.
I can't think of any.
So Starfield's gone. Redfall's gone. Remember, Stalker 2 was also delayed because I'm pretty sure they're a Ukrainian development team, and we know what's happening there, although no one's talking about it anymore.
No.
We have no attention span in this country. Now, the one thing I do think, like we've kind of mentioned it, and nothing has been confirmed yet, but I do think now, whether it was going to be part of the Activision deal or not, which that's not going to close this year, we don't think. I think they said by like the first half of next year, whatever. Mm-hmm. if it wasn't already going to be on Game Pass, you better believe that to make up for this, Modern Warfare 2 is going to be on Game Pass.
It has to be.
I'm going to be able to play that game for free, and I'm very happy. I cannot wait to play that game. I cannot freaking wait. If for some reason it's not on Game Pass, I'm getting it on PS5. I don't care. But this is just, it's not like, oh man, they're not going to sell any more Xboxes this year, or people are going to cancel Game Pass. It's not like that, but like they had to be banking on Starfield landing, getting a huge uptick in Game Pass subs just to play that game. I don't know. It sucks.
It does not look good. But again, better to delay it than release Cyberpunk 2, basically. So
I will say the one thing it made me think of now, not now, but when this got announced, I was like, maybe God of War is coming out this year. Maybe it's not September.
Now they can have 11/11.
Can you imagine the middle finger that would be to Xbox if Sony says, whenever they do a state of play, God of War is out 11/11/22? Can you imagine?
I mean, even if it was going to come out in September,
would lose their minds.
They should just postpone to November.
Just delay it 2 months, a little more polish, and put it out that day. Yeah, my blood red retirement account tells me everything I need to know about the world at this moment. Yep, but retirement accounts, you just gotta write it out. Just gotta write it out. Any other thoughts, Sean?
Nah.
Next up, this doesn't matter to a lot of people, but it does matter to some people. After almost 30 years, EA Sports is officially ditching the FIFA name. After almost 30 years, EA Sports and FIFA are parting ways, and EA will chart a new future under the name EA Sports FC. That rolls off the tongue. Aside from the name change, the lack of a licensing deal means there could be some changes to the tried and true FIFA formula. EA president David Jackson says the deal with FIFA wasn't just for the name, but included a set of licensing restrictions that EA no longer has to abide by. So basically what this means is, what I've heard from people is like, FIFA wouldn't, because FIFA has a deal with Adidas. Nike wants to get in FIFA, the game, but they can't because FIFA has a deal with Adidas. Now EA can be like, Nike, give us your money. We'll put it in the, all this stuff.
Yeah.
What else? Blah, 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 blah. So basically they're dropping the name FIFA, which is crazy. Oh, James's internet crapped out. But then the funny thing was FIFA had a response to this, which this is just like, let me just read it. Quote, I can assure you that the only authentic, real game that has the FIFA name will be the best one available for gamers and soccer fans. The FIFA name is the only global original title. FIFA 23, FIFA 24, FIFA 25, and FIFA 26, and so on. The constant is that the FIFA name, and it will remain forever and remain the best.
So I don't understand.
And they said they're going to make a competitor. FIFA can't make a game. FIFA. So now we're going to
they'll link up with 2K,
Konami?
like something like
it.
But
I would hope it's 2K. Yeah.
So what I don't get, I mean, obviously we had FIFA and we had PES.
That's okay, James.
But like, I don't understand enough about soccer and the hundreds of leagues out there. Like, what is FIFA? When you lose the FIFA licensing or whatever, can they not have like Liverpool and Ronaldo, and that's about all I know of soccer.
Well,
like, can
EA,
they still include these teams and names and likenesses and all that?
While EA will lose the rights to the FIFA name, the company has signed up 19,000 athletes, 700 teams, 100 stadiums, and over 30 leagues, including the Premier League, Bundesliga, La Liga, and UEFA, so players can expect real team names and players. There will be no World Cup content every 4 years, but the main leagues and players will remain. EA is said to have a financial blah, 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 blah.
So they're literally named. They lost three letters.
Lost World Cup.
And they gained one new letter, and that's it.
They lost being able to say that the game has the World Cup. But all they can have is, they can have like the World Football Championship. Yeah, like they can still do the same thing. So
I mean,
like,
I've never played FIFA. I've probably played a soccer video game at some point.
Battle Strikers.
Yeah, Mario Strikers is the only soccer game I've ever really played.
Did I make up that name? Is that what the new one is?
It's called Striker. It's something like that. I don't know. I don't think this is a big deal.
No, but James is right. So he says people that aren't informed are still going to buy whatever game is called FIFA and then go, wow, this sucks. That's what I do. Ow. I just bent my toenail back. I do worry for people that are not in the know that whenever FIFA comes out, I still, the fact that they think they're just going to make a FIFA. I don't know what they think. Anyways, when people see the name FIFA, you think FIFA and you think FIFA, the soccer game, the best soccer game, blah, blah, blah. People are going to get a rude awakening. For like a year, whenever this game comes out, I could see it selling awesome. Now they're up by 40. Wow. I could see it selling. They're pulling a Memphis. I could see it selling awesome for 1 year, and then people are like, wait a minute. That's the game. Now, remember, FIFA was demanding like $1 billion for 4 years. Or $1 billion per, I can't remember what it was. I think it was $1 billion for 4 years. So $250 million a year just to use the name FIFA from EA. And they said, screw you guys, we'll do our own thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But now EA is going to have to take maybe not all that money that they would have paid FIFA. They're going to have to, I hope their marketing team is really smart and knows how to get the word out. Because they can't say FIFA is now EAFC. Because I'm sure FIFA will then be like, nope, you're sued. You said our name. You can't do that. You know. They're going to have to do something like the game you've known and loved for 20 years is now. You know what I mean? They're going to have to do something to get the word out that this is FIFA just without the name.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that is a little odd. Like kids who are like, ooh, Mommy, Daddy, I want the new FIFA game for Christmas. They're not going to get the game they want.
No, they're going to like,
So,
Dad, why do you hate me? Johnny, you said you wanted FIFA. This game sucks. I don't know why Johnny sounds like that.
Johnny's a B.
And the last item on the news list, we got NPD results for April as well as a bunch of other sales updates, so stick with me here. In terms of software, the number one game in April was not Elden Ring. It was Lego Star Wars, The Skywalker Saga. Cool. I'm happy for that. It's not, I don't really think I'm going to play it, but it just makes me happy to see it there. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just in a good mood today.
I'd rather still see Elden Ring at the top, but I'm okay.
Elden Ring was number 2. MLB The Show was number 3. This was weird. When we did the March results last month, there must have been some deal where if you bought the deluxe edition, you got to play it early because it didn't come out until April, but it charted in NPD because NPD doesn't count like pre-orders and stuff. So there must have been some like, buy this version of the game, you get to play it early. I don't know. But
weird.
somehow it charted in March and it didn't come out till like April 10th. So I have no idea what happened.
Was
there.
Uncharted on there?
It was not. Funny guy. Could they advertise EA football in FIFA 2020? That would be amazing. Number 4, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, holding strong again. Switch Sports, number 5.
It's pretty good.
Good start. And again, that doesn't count digital. I bought it digital.
It's so weird.
Yeah. Number 6, Call of Duty Vanguard. Number 7, Horizon Forbidden West. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is number 8. Gran Turismo 7 dropped to number 9. And Pokemon Legends Arceus was number 10. Elden Ring right now is the number 1 selling game in 2022. Star Wars, after 1 month, is now number 2. So it's passed Call of Duty so far for this year, not for the last 12 months, but for this year. Horizon came in at number 4. Call of Duty is number 3. Elden Ring, now this is just as of March 31st, so this is a month and a half ago. It's up to 13.4 million sold. You got to think in a month and a half now, it's over 15 for sure, maybe 16. Easily. I don't know.
Maybe.
But Elden Ring is now the number 1 best-selling game over the last 12 months, beating COD Vanguard. That's makes awesome. Me very happy. Skywalker Saga. So this was the best launch month in terms of dollars sold in franchise history. And there's been there's been like 20 something Lego games. I forget how many, but this was the best launch month ever. When it comes to hardware, Switch, of course, was number 1 in units sold and has now sold more units in the US than the PS4 has all time.
I'm shocked. Like worldwide, that wouldn't surprise me. But in the US, I'm not, I wouldn't say I'm shocked, but it's surprising.
and it's now the number four best-selling console. I don't know what my tummy. It doesn't. It's not like I got
My tummy.
It's not like I got a fart or poop or anything. It's just going. I drink water and then it goes. Yeah, it's now the number four best-selling console all time in the U.S. The Switch is now at 100 worldwide. Is now at 107.65 million total units. That's insane. The Switch also, the regular Switch, not the OLED, has finally been discounted in the U.S. to $260. It only took them 5 years for a price drop. But I mean, they didn't
That's
have to. They
Nintendo.
just kept selling. But also, as part of their earnings results, it was announced that Bayonetta 3 is supposedly still on track for 2022. Our fantasy prediction thing that we did on a Patreon episode, that was a weird word. Patreon episode. It's going to come down to who has more games get delayed.
Yeah. I think I've only officially lost one.
Mm-hmm. Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the
I've
Wild.
only lost Starfield, but God of War is not looking great.
Yeah. If we're dropping 3, I'm not going to have more than 3.
You got Hogwarts on there. You've got Final Fantasy 16. Although I'm starting to think 16.
Final Fantasy.
I'm starting to think that might actually be the November game.
Yeah, I don't think so.
We also got updated software all-time sales for the Switch. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is at 45.3 million. We are never getting Mario Kart 9. We just have to accept it. We're just going to get DLC for this game forever. Animal Crossing is number 2 with 38.6 million sold. Still don't get it. Smash Ultimate, 28.1 million. To me, the fact that Animal Crossing is sold more than Smash. Now, Smash isn't my cup of tea. I had fun with it for a little bit, unlocking everybody, and then I just didn't care because it's not a fighting game. It's a party game. But for it to outsell Smash Ultimate by 10 million copies, and it's only been out for 2 years, and Smash Ultimate came out 4 years ago, I think. It was 2018, I want to say. Or maybe it's 2019. I don't know.
No, I think it was 18.
I think it was 18. Breath of the Wild, of course, the best-selling Zelda game of all time, now at 26.5 million copies sold. Pokemon Sword and Shield combined for 24.2 million. Mario Odyssey, 23.5 million. One of the best Mario games, selling Mario games of all time, for sure. Super Mario Party, that surprises me, 17.7 million. So that was the first one. Because I think the next one was Mario Party Superstars or something like that.
Yeah.
Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl are at 14.6 million, and Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee is at 14.5 million. Ring Fit, 14 million. A lot of people wanted to get in shape during the pandemic.
I got that. And then I played for like a week. I'm like, this isn't really fun.
Nick
I'm just
loved
doing
it,
this.
But yeah. We also got some PlayStation sales updates. 19.3 million PS5s have now been sold worldwide.
I own 7 of those games, shockingly.
Do you really?
Mario Kart, Animal Crossing, Smash, Breath of the Wild, Odyssey, Mario Party, Ring Fit.
I own 5.
I own all of them but the 3 Pokemon games.
Bye, Derek. Thanks for being here, man.
See ya.
In the last year, PlayStation 5, there were 11.5 million PS5 sold. Sounds good, but that was 3.3 million short of their initial projections. Not great. They do expect to sell 18 million this fiscal year, but they say demand is higher than that. Good luck selling 18 million. I don't know if they're stealing silicon to make I don't know what's happening, but I don't see that happening. The PS4 is now at 117.2 million worldwide. They sold barely a million in the last year. So, again, we got to move on from PS4 games at this point.
Yeah.
PS Plus subs are at 47.4 million, which is slightly down from a year ago, but still a good number. They have 106 million active users. And also, Sony announced that PlayStation is investing $300 million to grow their business on multiple platforms. I'm bringing their games to multiple platforms. That, of course, just means PlayStation and PC. But 300 million, I do wonder, like they talked about this on Sacred Symbols this week. We're never going to get day and date on PC.
No.
But I do think that time frame, it's not going to be like God of War took 4 years to come out on PC. I don't think it's going to take 4 years for,
Yeah.
So I don't know. Any thoughts on all those nerdy nails?
Nerdy nails?
Nerdy sales numbers, Sean.
No, I mean, I wonder. Okay, so Switch is only 10 million behind PS4.
When we're podcasting this
Worldwide.
time next year, it will have passed PS4, I say. I think it'll sell 10 million this year.
Yeah, I don't think it'll take that long.
But they're very worried about the shortages and everything.
Nintendo's?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I guess it hits everybody.
I mean, you got to think when Breath of the Wild 2 comes out, people that don't have a Switch yet. But who doesn't have a Switch?
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, Sean, it's time for the wrap up. It was announced that Dead Space Remake is officially coming out January 27th, 2023, to which Chris Raygun tweeted, okay, cool, so April.
Probably.
I've never played Dead Space. I definitely want to play that game. I'm very excited for that. That's almost the exact same date that Elden Ring had for this year before it was delayed a month. I think it was January 25th originally.
Really?
So I think that'll get delayed, but you never know. Summer Game Fest is going from June 9th through 12th, but more announcements will be coming in the weeks after that. 505 Games announced that they are doing a showcase on May 17th, so by the time this goes live, that has already happened. EA said in their financial results that their 2023 lineup will include an unannounced remake, a major IP, a new partner title, and a sports game. Also, Fallen Order 2 is reportedly going to be named Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I like that.
I dig it. Yeah.
The unannounced remake, so that is not Dead Space.
The only thing is that makes me think of Resident Evil Survivor.
What was that?
Sucked. It was just like some weird. It wasn't good. I can't remember if that was one of the weird rail shooter games or if it was just a weird. It wasn't good, and it makes me think of Metal Gear Survive.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that.
I don't. In theory, I like it, but the survive part of it, I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know. It scares me, but
I think the major IP is Jedi Survivor. Unannounced remake, I don't know what it could be. They own so many IP, I don't know what. I've heard some people say Mirror's Edge, but I was like, they made a sequel to Mirror's Edge, and literally no one bought it. So why would they go back and remake the first one? New partner title, I've heard a lot of people say that probably means something like It Takes Two with one of their like EA originals or whatever they call those things now.
yeah.
Sports game, oops, sorry. Please be college football. They announced that it was coming back last year.
Yeah, but didn't they say it would be like years?
No, they never. They just said it's not going to be like this year. But I think July 2023, I think we get college football, and I can't wait.
Yeah.
I haven't played a college football game since 2013. I miss it a lot. Apex Legends has now grossed in revenue, not profit, but $2 billion in the 3 years it's been available. Crazy.
Wow.
Ubisoft has confirmed that Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, Mario plus Rabbids: Sparks of Hope, that's on your list, and Skull and Bones will launch by April 2023.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. But Skull and Bones has now been rated in South Korea, so it might actually be close to finally coming out after it was announced in 2017. Capcom announced record profits for 5 years in a row now, and Resident Evil Village has now sold over 6.1 million units.
That's awesome.
They will also be launching multiple major new titles by March 2023. I have Street Fighter 6 on my list for this year. That was dumb. It's going to be January or February. It's not coming out this year. First off, they need a new logo. Second off, all they've shown is Ryu, who's this wide, just like Ryu. Sorry, you can see you're picturing it now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm picturing like Kingpin from Spider-Verse.
Basically, yeah. Except Ryu's head was kind of proportionate. Also, Konami had its most profitable year ever, and that was driven by gaming. I'm happy about this.
Okay.
I've completely changed my tone on them. I want them to get back. I want my remakes. I want more Castlevania. I want a decent Contra game, not that crap they put out on Switch a couple years ago.
Could you imagine just a brand new, old school 2D Contra game? Like that would be. I mean,
look back to our first Let's Play we did on this channel and how much fun we had with Broforce.
Oh God, yeah,
that game was amazing. Like, I'm not saying Konami would have to develop it.
Wait, what game was it?
I'm sorry, Broforce. I forgot that's how I'm supposed to say it. It's been so long. But yeah, gosh, we had fun with Blazing Chrome a couple years ago. You know,
I totally forgot we played it.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go back and watch that video because
It's
I know we
hardcore.
played it, but
It's
like
hardcore, yeah.
I just don't remember anything about it.
Sega is planning multiple remakes, remasters, and new games this year. I'm still wondering if Sonic Frontiers is actually going to come out this year. I think that's what it's called. Alan Wake is coming to Switch. It will play natively, not via cloud, so that's nice. Alan Wake 2, they did some like concept art. Oh, my nose is itching. They showed some concept art and stuff, but we won't be getting any more news this summer, so they can deliver the best first impression when they do unveil the game. WWE, for some reason, has signed on to make an RPG wrestling game. The only thing I can think of is if this is what they're calling an RPG is really just like you're the GM, and that's the entire game. Do you remember that text-based thing that I played in high school? You played it too? Okay, yeah.
I loved
something
it.
like that, but with like, I just don't know what are you doing?
And is this going to be like a mobile game, or is this a full?
They haven't said, but it sounds like it's a full, like I would assume, a AAA game.
Wow.
Kirby 64 is coming to the Switch Online expansion pass. Stardew Valley has now sold over 20 million copies. James, I know you said I got to play it. If I play it, I should it'll be on my Vita is where I would play it, I think.
Yeah.
Metroid Dread, somebody in the chat mentioned this last week, but I didn't have it in the rundown. But it is now officially the best-selling Metroid game at a whole 2.9 million copies sold. How can a series as good as that not sell?
I hate that it's.
How
I
is
mean,
that
2.9.
possible?
I'm glad it's the best-selling one.
It should be at 10
2.9 is
million
nothing
right now.
to. Yeah, like I'm shocked it's not at least at 10. But
It was
whatever.
my game of the year.
People are stupid.
And finally, here on the wrap-up, it was announced this week that Let Me Solo Her has now killed Melania in Elden Ring 1,000 times. How is someone that good walking around with a pot on his head and a diaper? Like, it's not even like he's using the rivers of blood or anything, right? He's just
I don't know what
good.
weapon he uses, but
I should just go to YouTube and just look up Let Me Solo Her. I just want to see somebody that like summons him and they're like, oh my God, he's here. And then just see what he does.
it would be funny to make yourself look like that.
Yeah.
Name yourself that, and then go and put summons down around Melania, and then just go in there and just get smoked. Everybody be like, "Oh my God, I got him!" Wait, what just happened?
I'm using like my weakest man. I'm going like my glintstone. Pew, pew, pew. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it for episode 281. Thank y'all so much for being here and hanging out with us. We're going to go record a Let's Play now that I don't know what to think about. It's going to be very frustrating. Hopefully it'll be up. It'll be up this week. I don't know how soon, but because I'm sure I'm going to have to do a lot of editing. Hopefully this goes well. It's going to be our first Let's Play on the PC. So we'll see how that goes. But look forward to it. It may be a one-off. It may be a series. I guess we'll see how we feel after we play it.
I don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
But it will be fun.
It'll
be entertaining.
It'll be entertaining for them, not for us. But again, that is it for this week for episode 281. Thank you all so much for being here. And until the next time, Sean, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for playing.